Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I just wanted to go ahead and refresh the kind of install and setup guide for getting to play our in-house mod, ReMoDDeD. So this will serve to help show you how the launcher works and some starting tips on getting going with the mod that I think many of you new players will find helpful. So with that out of the way, as usual, if you guys are liking this kind of content, make sure you like, subscribe, helps everybody out, and be sure to check out the video description below for links to our website, Discord, Patreon, and some of the tools or other things you might be interested in. Jumping right into it, our very first step to get set up with ReMoDDeD is to install D2R Launch. While it is not strictly required, the mod does play off of it a lot and gain benefit from a lot of its quality of life features and things like that. So it is definitely the recommended method to play this mod. So for that, we can just go to d2rmodding.com/d2rlaunch. Links to this will be in the video description below, by the way, and we can scroll down a little bit and click the download option here. So I've already done that just to save time, so let's go ahead and go to my downloads folder, and you'll see you have a file name similar to this. This is the launcher file, and we can go ahead and just open that up to see the single folder that's contained inside, just simply named D2R Launch. So all we're going to do in this example is just drag it to our desktop. You can technically drag it wherever, just be sure it's not a place that might have file permissions issues with Windows or something like that. So for that purpose, I just recommend dragging the main folder to your desktop. It's a pretty safe place to put it and easy to get to for later. So we've moved that there. We can actually close this window. We're kind of done with it. And this is the program we'll use to run our mod as well as any other mod that you may choose to play. So for that, we can open up the main folder and we'll see three subfolders inside of it. These are for the three different programs that are included as part of this package. You have the launcher itself, the stasher, or what we've colloquially called the vault. This is like an external storage program. And then finally, like an updater program that helps keep both of these up to date. When I send out new patches and things like that, they can self-update themselves to keep everything current. So with that explained, all we are ever going to run directly is this launcher folder. So we're going to open that. And then for your own sanity, go ahead and create a shortcut or pin this to your taskbar or something like that. I'm going to remove my old one and pretend I haven't done this before. And I'm going to select the EXE, right click it, and then I'm going to select the pin to taskbar option, and that'll add it down here just to make it easy for me to launch in the future. So you don't need to go into this folder every time. So let's go ahead and close that. We'll open it from here so you can see how that works. The very first time you run it, you might get a message like this. We can just select the more info button and then select run anyway. And that's just Windows doing its best just to cover its bases. And when you first open it, you'll see it might be out of date. So for example, right now we're on version 2.3.3, but we got some glowing text telling us that there's an update ready for 0.4.7. So I'm going to go ahead and click that and let it do its thing real quick. Shouldn't take too long for you. The launcher itself isn't all that big. So we'll just give it a couple seconds. It should finish up, and then open the launcher back up when it's done. And there we go. So it's all opened back up. And now if we look in the top left, we'll see it's been successfully updated to 0.4.7. Now I already have a mod installed. You can see here I have ReMoDDeD selected, but we're going to pretend that you don't have the mod yet installed and everything's blank or something like that. You can just select the download new mod button. You can go to the drop-down box and select any of the mods from the list that are in the database and simply click it to, paste in the required info and click install. Or if you have your own zip link, from somebody else or whatever, you can paste that in manually and install it that way. But again, we're just going to select ReMoDDeD from the list, click the install button, and that'll take a few minutes depending on the internet. It is a pretty big mod, so don't be surprised if it takes a little bit. But once that's done, obviously, then you can just select it from the list. It will appear there. However, before you start it, there's a couple things I'd like to point out in the launcher to kind of help you get going and make sense of things. One of the very first things I'd say is we definitely want to go to the options section and check out some of the quality of life options that the launcher can offer you. So for example, if you want to change your fonts to something else that you might like a little more for in-game, you can go ahead and preview and change the font there if you'd like. I strongly recommend that you leave auto backups enabled. Don't be worried about the backup frequency. These are extremely small files, so even if you back up very frequently, it's going to take up hardly no space at all. And just because the mod is in beta and D2R in general has crashes, you might find, due to item poofing from power loss or something like that, that you might want to restore a previous backup. So strongly recommended. Make sure you can take care of that. We have a lot of other options for personalized stash tabs and display mode. This is another one I recommend enabling, at least turning it on to advanced mode so you can see some advanced monster stats such as live resistance and HP displays. But essentially you can kind of scroll and see some of the quality of life options it offers. The last thing I'd recommend is changing the runeword sorting to by item type. That's usually the preferred method for players anyways, so you can go ahead and set that at the start just to start the ball off right. So we'll assume you have everything how you want it, you got your display mode, all that kind of stuff, and you've explored the options there. One other button I'd like to point out is the community tab, where you can get quick access to our Discord, our wiki, which is currently in progress, but it is still being developed. And then if you ever need to kind of troubleshoot some things, you got the My Files section, which can give you quick access to your vault config data, your user data, save files, etc. And to explain what the vault data is, we're going to go ahead and just click the vault real quick, and we'll show you this external program before we jump into the mod itself. So as you can see, the vault is also out of date because it's a brand new download. Haven't updated everything yet, so we're going to let that do its thing real quick. And again, as usual, it'll depend on your actual internet service. Mine's actually not the fastest, so yours may be faster than what you see here. And then just like before, once it's updated, it'll go ahead and open the program. I should have cleared this out. Let me simulate that to more properly reflect what you do. I apologize for that. So to do that, I'm going to go to My Files, Vault Config Data, and I'm going to delete all these folders here. That'll delete all my just personal configuration data. Won't lose any like items or anything like that. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to reopen the vault again to simulate like a new player experience. You're going to see something like this instead. So in the mod choice drop-down box, we can simply select the mods you have installed. So we're going to select ReMoDDeD. It's going to give you a little pop-up that, hey, it needs to restart to make some file changes. We can go ahead and click OK, and then we're just going to restart it now that it's made those changes. So that's a one-time process. You'll see now that you've kind of configured things, it's going to load directly into the vault system. And so this is a system where you can obviously click the items, you can choose to move them back and forth from your vault, that kind of thing. And then you can see in the top left, I have quite a few items stored in the vault currently. And if I wanted to see them, I could simply hit the filter button, choose any filters I may or may not want. In this case, I don't want any, I just want to see them all. And I'm just going to hit apply, and then you can see it kind of building all those items that I've stored in the vault on the list. So I can select them, I can select move, it's going to move it into my shared stash tabs over here, and you can see my different tabs as I browse through them. It's also very useful as like a grail tracker or an item gallery. So I can click the item gallery tab. You can see all the different rows here at the bottom, and with little trackers. So you can see what has been collected, what has still missing. So for example, I got all the bows except for this newer bow, the Amnesty's Gorgon crossbow. It can also be used as a grail tracker for everything you've put into the vault and kind of are keeping, but as well as just a general item gallery. If you're trying to see some of the new set items that are in the mod or things like that, you can browse through and check out all the different things as you'd like. Just keep in mind this program is, while there are no big major issues, it is still kind of use at your own risk. It's quite hard to develop for, so it doesn't get a lot of updates to deal with that. So anyways, just kind of a friendly, piece of advice, but again, it is still fully functional. Just create backups or use it sparingly, or use it for the item gallery, etc. Anyway, so with that said, we've gone over just some of the basics of the launcher, some of the things you can do with quality of life options, etc. I've yammered on long enough. We're going to show you one more quick thing about the seed. If you want to load a character, which we don't have yet, so you won't be able to see it fully in action, but essentially, if you know about seeds, you can click this button here to load your character. You can type in whatever seed you want and then click the play button to kind of activate those changes and force your character, your save file, to have a specific seed. For those of you who know what the seed is, you'll immediately know what it's for. And if you don't know what a seed is, then you can basically just forget this column or learn about it at a future time. It won't impact your gameplay much. Anyways, with all my babbling out of the way, we're going to say you're happy with things, you've adjusted all your options how you like, and you're ready to play the mod. So we're just going to simply click the button. One last note, actually, I apologize while that's loading. If there is a mod update, so right now you can see that this mod is on 0.9.9e as far as the version goes. You can click this check for mod updates button, and if there's a new version available, it will go ahead and download and install it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click that now. You're going to see it's going to go ahead and check, but in this case, we just installed this, so there's no updates available. Obviously, if there were, then it would ask you if you'd like a backup made, and it would go through that whole process. Once you get into the mod, there's a couple things I'd just like to quickly point out. You can take a look at the mod credits page to see some of the people who worked on the mod and you might want to give a shout out to in Discord, things like that, and just as a general thank you for everything they've done. You can also see our mod info page, which admittedly is a bit outdated. We'll work on this, but you can see some of the more major changes that have been introduced in the mod. But keep in mind, it's a quite large mod, so again, use that menu. Keep in mind, it's still a lot missing. Finally, once we get in-game, let me go ahead and create a new character for you guys and show you the kind of overall introduction to how to get going in ReMoDDeD that I think will help everybody. So we're just going to go ahead and name this Sork New. And one of the first things you'll notice is you have a couple new items in your inventory along with the expanded storage and all that stuff. So let's just quickly go over those. You're going to have a kill tracker. This will help you as it sounds. It's going to track kind of kills, deaths over the lifetime of this character. And these are tied to your actual character. So there's no cheesing this by getting a different tracker from a new character or something like that. It's always going to maintain this character's actual kills and deaths. As well as that, it's going to act to display and give you your initial charm weight. There's a whole charm weighting system that I'll show you the introductions to here in a minute. But just essentially know this is basically an item every character has that you just keep in your inventory to track things and benefit or penalize you over time depending on how you play. Another thing that you'll want to keep note of is the bag that you start with. We use this instead of upgrading, downgrading, stacking, all that kind of stuff. Now everything just goes in the bag for things like gems, runes, jewels, keys, organs, all that kind of stuff. You can just toss it in the bag and grab out what you need at a later time. Again, we'll go over that in more detail later as well. And then finally, you got your kind of bag of convenience. So you can cube this in the cube, and it will return you basically endless quality of life items. So we're going to go ahead and do that to start off. We're going to transmute that, and you'll see here that we got a tomb that self-regenerates. So you can see here is quantity 6. If I talk for another second or two, there we're at quantity 7. So that'll just keep regenerating itself. Same thing with the ID scrolls and your keys. So this is that quality of life cube. Now you can see how that helps. Anyways, so you've got your bag sorted out. One thing I want to show you is if we go to your cube, you may have noticed a few more buttons in the area. Let's quickly go over that. So you got 2 different transmute buttons, depending on where the item happens to spawn. Sometimes they like to spawn up here, sometimes they like to spawn in the other corner. So that's just a quality of life thing there. But the buttons you'll frequently access are going to be this recipes button, which if we click that will let you view all the in-game cube recipe menus, as well as all the custom ones for the mods, any special notes kind of in that blue text to let you know what's going on there, and as well as all of our RuneWord menus that you can browse through. Again, we changed that to by item type at the beginning of the video, so you can see those all broken up by item type, by what rune you need, etc., with hoverable tooltips, so you can see how much they cost, what stats you'll get, all that kind of fun stuff, as well as some of the extra features we have in this mod, which you can learn more about on our Discord, wiki, etc., like Forsaken Pack. So you'll be using this menu a lot to check out our recipes, our crafting system, all that kind of stuff. And then you'll also be using the Horadric Rift to see the current month's rotation or the current patch's rotation of different purchases or perks that will be available. Again, there will be individual details about all of this in our Discord, wiki, etc. But no, this is just kind of like a seasonal shop that rotates. It requires different things at different times, and sometimes those things come back. Sometimes they are exclusive and you'll kind of never see them again. You snooze, you lose type of thing. So again, check out our Discord, wiki, etc. if you need more info on that. So we've got our kind of basics covered. Hey, there's a bigger storage and there's menus and stuff. If you look at our skill tree, you can see that all the skills are open now. They no longer have prerequisite skills, and if you click the skill preview button, you can view animated skill previews of all the current skills. Again, we're in beta. Some of this may need a little update or a little icon tweak or something like that here and there, but for the most part this is all accurate, and you can use this to browse not only the different class skills to do some theory crafting and whatnot, but you can also check out some of the open skills that are available to all classes, depending on if you found the item or whatever that contains that open skill or not. And then finally, you got this little respec character button. We do definitely incentivize you to try out new builds, switch up your build out some, things like that, and you can do that quickly and easily by just clicking that button whenever you need to respec, and it'll respec both your stat and your skill points, so you can tackle that as you want. Just one second. Alright, sorry about that. With that explained, we'll just go one step further and we'll show you kind of the new layout system. So as you can see, the layout has been drastically redesigned, and especially for when you're viewing advanced stats, there's no longer a button over here that's going to, extend another panel. It's just a scrollable submenu. I don't have enough stats for it to be scrollable on this new character, but you would find all your stats just listed here, and you can scroll up and down them as you desire. So some more quality of life stuff there. With all the obvious stuff out of the way, let's go into some of the stuff you might want to start with. So if you go to our Eddie run, he's one of our custom vendors that you'll see in the mod, and we go to trade with him, we can see that there's a lot of new custom items, and what I really want to focus on for now are going to be these removers, as well as the Enhanced Crystals. So these removers will help you take out items you've deposited into this bag. So let's say you popped in some gems, some runes, whatever in there, you're going to need a remover to get those out. So let's say we had some L runes that we put in there. Let me go ahead. Oh, I have no gold. Forgot about that. So anyways, let's assume I wasn't broke. There we go. I don't need a shield. Who needs defense? So we're going to buy our L rune, and if I simply put these in the cube together, assuming that I actually had an L rune stored in here, I just hit transmute and it's going to pull that L rune out. And then if I want to pull a different kind of rune out, I can just cube the remover alone to change what it's, removing out. And as you can see, it will give you a preview of both how much points it will cost, because now that they use a point system for the bag, as well as, what stats the actual rune has on it. So you can scroll through and see, even up to our new, custom runes in the mod, you can use all that. And then the enhancement crystals, again, there will be a whole video and post and info about this that you can read up the details on. But the overall concept is pretty simple. You can buy these enhanced crystals, which will add the specified stat as well as the specified level requirement onto the item. So you can imagine here an item like this with no level requirement. It means you can put on a lot of different enhanced crystals before you might run into, the level requirement being too high for you to wear it. However, for some other items that may start out at, level 60 required level already or something like that, you'll find that obviously you can only afford a few enhances before it might be too high level for you to use it. So has its own kind of built-in limiter in that regard, and then each type of crystal has another limit in place. So these blue ones here, as you've probably seen as I've hovered over them, they have unlimited uses. As long as you're high enough level to wear it, you can put 30 of a single enhanced type on it. It doesn't care. You can just keep going. You got your purple runes here. These are limited to 10 on that single item, so it doesn't matter which 10 they are. If it's 10 of all magic find, or you got 5 of one and 5 of another, whatever. But you can only have 10 purple ones on a single item. You can have more than 10 across multiple items. Again, just a single. And then finally, you got these yellow ones here. These are a single use. Only one of these can be on any one item at a time. But again, just like before, you can toss these on multiple items overall, just only one per item. So with those explained, that'll be the majority of the kind of first types of systems and menus you'll want to interact with. As you start getting loot, you'll start buying gold bars and using tokens of evil for your rift purchases, things like that. You'll start needing to split those out and create class tokens for your soul summons. You'll get into all that later, but I want to give you just a quick introduction on some of the things you'll care about. Another note is that with our runewords, a lot of them are much lower level now, so you'll be expected to kind of invest in some of those early runewords in the early game also to help you out. It will make a big difference on your survivability and things, because monsters and a lot of other stuff have been buffed as well. I think that's the majority of the stuff I wanted to cover as far as getting started into the mod. Again, take advantage of a lot of the new menus, quick access to our community pages for Discord, Wiki, etc. to get some additional help there. We have build guides and a lot of helpful people there who don't mind giving you some advice and whatnot. But other than that, that's the core changes you can expect to get going with a healthy stride in the mod. So with that, I appreciate you guys being patient. Thanks for letting me yammer on, and I hope you guys enjoy the mod. Take care. Bye.